Hello, a warm good morning to my dear students. Welcome to virtual classes. In this class, we will start a new lesson, that is lesson number 7, The Refugees, written by Pearl S. Buck. Pearl S. Buck was an American writer and a novelist. She was born on 1892 and died on 1973. And when she was young, she went to China and nearly 40 years she stayed there. During her stay in China, she worked in number of Chinese universities and she had written number of novels and short stories and essays, to mention a few: The West Wind, The East Wind, which is published in 1932, The Mother 1934, Dragon Seed 1942, Come My Beloved, written in 1935, etc. And her novel The Good Earth, which is written in 1930, was awarded Nobel Prize by United States of America. She was the first woman to get a Nobel Prize for literature. And after returning to America, she continued to write prolifically, and some of the short stories and fictions written by her were The First Wife, which came in 1933, Today and Forever 1941, For and Near, which is written in 1947. And she was the prominent advocate for women and minority groups. And the present lesson, The Refugee, is written by her. First, let us know what is the meaning of the word the refugee, or who are the refugees. The refugees are the people who are forced to leave their homelands, leaving behind their property, house, assets, which they owned and lived for ancestors, and move out to a different city or a state or a country. Sometimes they have to cross the borders of the country, and in that process they struggle a lot in order to survive in a new city, new country. And you can so what must have been the reason for this? So the reasons may be due to natural disasters or natural calamities like earthquake, floods, volcanoes, drought, which comes without any signal, without any indication in advance, and sometimes due to violence in the country. So, in a country, the violence is so much that their life threat will be more, and survival chances must be very less, or even due to ethnic cleansing, which means to say the government or the president of the country wanted to have a single religion in the country. As a result, they wanted a specific group or a religion to move out of the country, and they pass an order for that. So the citizens have to follow it. In case if they don't follow, they will be punished legally by the government. They may put to death or hang to death. Whatever a severe punishment they think of, they may do it. At that case, they were forced to leave the country, their relatives, even assets which they earned from many years, and sometimes due to even civil wars. Civil war in the sense the particular citizens of the country will not have a rights to rights of the citizens. They have to live like laborers, or even like slaves, and sometimes even due to a transfer of citizens or a population transfer. You can think of historical event which has happened in 1947, namely partition of India. Before India got independence, India, Pakistan and Afghanistan, all the three countries in the single name by Hindustan, we fought against Britishers nearly 2 centuries. Finally, in 1947, when Britishers ready to give a freedom to the country, the greatest leader from the Muslim community, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, he wanted to have a separate country for the Muslim community. As a result, Hindustan has been marked into India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, and the Muslim people who lived permanently, settled permanently in a place namely India, they have to leave behind everything, a property, house, a job, and move out to a Pakistan in a overnight. Similarly, the Hindus who lived and settled in Pakistan market area, they have to come to India. So if you want, you can see pictures of that India and India partition of 1947. So how the people were filled in a trains like a goods and transferred from one place to another place. So in that cases, surviving is not such an easy job. They have to undergo a lot of struggles and problems in order to survive. Even today, in every state, every country in the world, there are millions of refugees. Each refugee have got their own sad story to share, their survival stories. In that process, it takes years, even decades for them to survive, and most of them they die out of hunger, poverty, and cold, and even they lose their life. And the present lesson, the refugee, is a story of Chinese peasants, or peasants means farmers who were forced to leave their native land during the floods, that is natural disaster, and move to a nearby city, and the problems and the struggles that they face when they move out to a new place. Without, they will not be having any money with them to survive, no food, no shelter, no relatives. They will not be knowing a language, they may not have a skill or a knowledge which fit for a city to do some kind of a job and to survive. So it's a very heart rendering situation. The writer, she has expressed clearly what kind of problems that they face, and it is really heart touching. This is the introduction part of the lesson. So we will continue the actual text in the next video. Thank you.